Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. I'm your host, Dan Sisk.
And I'm Schroeder.
And guys, we had a weekend full of NFL games this week. We don't really have college games to talk about because, Eric, the college games ended up being kind of terrible. We talked about the possibility of talking about Penn State and Pitt, but the Pitt game was unwatchable and they should have lost by double digits. If not for a horrible inadvertent whistle. And then the Penn State game was a snooze fest that I'm not exaggerating. I was actually starting to fall asleep in the middle of the second quarter. It was just so boring. I'm happy Penn State won, but we all know that game's a glorified exhibition. It means nothing. So we're not going to talk about those games this week, but we have a number of NFL games to talk about. We're going to be doing the Ravens-Packers, the 49ers-Bears, the Browns and Steelers, the Eagles and the Bills, and then finally the Falcons and the Rams. So, Eric, you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys. So in terms of the news roundup, really nothing significant happened this week. I mean, a lot of small stuff. Baron Morton is going to be fully healthy for the playoff game. That's kind of a cool story. Chip Kelly got hired as the offensive coordinator at Northwestern. How the mighty have fallen. But in terms of stories that really involve a deep analysis by Eric and myself, Kyle Whittingham has signed a 5-year deal to be the new head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. He's getting paid $8.2 million a year. Eric, what were your immediate thoughts when you saw this story? Because I had a swirl of reactions to it, but I'm really curious to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting for sure, to say the least. I mean, he's been at Utah since what, 2004?
He's been there forever.
Yeah,
forever.
He's been there for 21 years. And he hasn't been great. He hasn't been that bad. Utah, I mean, he's just an okay coach. And that's why I was kind of honestly confused why Michigan wanted him. Because he's just okay. He's been coaching for 20 years. And he's played in the Rose Bowl twice and he's lost. I mean, and he really hasn't really done anything.
Yeah.
He has no, his win-loss percentage isn't great. It's right above 500. It's at 668.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. They're settling for mediocrity, it seems like.
Yeah, I agree with you on the mediocrity thing. But I think this move was very clearly done to establish culture. Whittingham has always been very well respected as a coach, even if he isn't the best. There aren't a lot of opposing head coaches who don't have respect for him. And I think you and I can both agree as fans of teams who hate Michigan that the number one thing that program needs right now is a culture and a stable head at the front of the snake that can keep this thing from going off the rails. Right.
Yes.
So,
yeah, right. Exactly.
So I think from that perspective, I think this is a slam dunk move. I think if you want a coach that can, again, ready the ship from 5+ years of scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal across multiple head coaches, this is a very, very safe and solid hire. But I think the caveat, as you mentioned, Eric, is that he really hasn't won a lot on the field. I know he has a couple conference championships back when, Utah was in the Pac-12, but since they've moved to the Big 12, they have not been great, which I think is very telling. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's like a Mike Gundy effect where maybe Kyle Whittingham is struggling to adapt to the modern approach of recruiting and the transfer portal and all that. Maybe that there's potential there, but at the same time, Michigan, the heads of the athletic department of Michigan aren't idiots. If he had no idea how to utilize the transfer portal, they wouldn't have hired him. So maybe he does, but this just played to me like the University of Michigan, Eric, saying, you know what, we're gonna be 8-4 and 7-5 for the next couple years, but we need to restore the reputation of our school. And that's more important than winning on the field right now. So let's just establish a culture.
Yeah, no.
So
It's a reputation saver hire type of deal
yeah,
here. They're
yeah,
not going out they're not hiring Kyle Whittingham to win him a natty right now.
nope.
Um, and that's fine. I mean, they
I,
just need to get level-headed again. You know, the stuff that's happened these past couple years, these past, what, 5 years at this point, have just been outrageous, and it's really bad for the brand. And like you said, this is a good brand, for the hi or good hire for the brand, I guess. Um,
yeah,
so we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it pans out if, we'll see if Bryce Underwood stays, if he transfers. He's been a little shaky, little talks about that, but, um, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
yeah. No, I think this is a very again. I think it's a safe hire, and they
Yeah.
made it purely to establish a culture. As I texted you in my immediate reaction, this is great news for Penn State and Ohio State. Like this is Christmas come early, dude. I mean, I gave you a perfect example. Utah won the Pac-12. They had a very, very solid Big 12, Pac-12 quarterback in Cam Rising. You remember him? He was there for a
Yep.
million years. Um, and that Utah team was very, very respected. Penn State went into the Rose Bowl with Sean Clifford as a quarterback, and I'm hard pressed to find a player I personally hated more than Sean Clifford. Okay. I despised that guy, but he went into the Rose Bowl, Eric, and he absolutely slaughtered the Utah Utes in that game. And that was basically a home game for Utah because if you go back and look at the footage, it was like 3/4 of the stadium were Utah fans. Penn State fans didn't fly out to California for that game, to Pasadena. So I, I just I think there's just a difference between the Pac-12 and the what was then the Pac-12, now the Big 12, and the Big 10 and SEC. We talked about that ad nauseum this season, right? With the ACC in particular, there's just a gap, and Whittingham can't cross that gap, plain and simple. Um, but again, I think Michigan deep down knows that they just want to establish a culture. So I look forward to Michigan being unranked for the next couple years. It fills me with joy. It makes me happy because again, they're not really going anywhere. But we'll see
Yeah,
if
right.
Bryce Underwood. We'll see if Bryce Underwood stays. I'm
I'm
curious.
I'm curious as well. I think he honestly will, just because Cohen and so respected.
Yeah,
But I don't know. We'll see. And honestly, if he leaves, I don't blame him.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. I if you wanted to get away from the stench of the scandals, I mean, again, you can't blame the guy. So we'll see what he does. But yeah, I think Michigan just secured mediocrity for the next 3 to 4 years. And then in
Yeah,
3 or 4 years, if they don't level up, they'll fire Whittingham and get the sexy name on the market. We know how this game,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
seen it before, but that's how it's going to go. That's all I have on that story. What about you?
yeah. That's all I got.
Okay, guys, that's it for the news roundup. There weren't a lot of great news stories, so we're gonna move on straight to the games. This was a result, Eric, that I don't think a lot of people saw coming, at least in the lopsided way that it ended up going down. When Baltimore visited Green Bay, Eric, what was going on there?
Yeah. Baltimore wins it 41-24 at Green Bay. Big win for Baltimore. Bad loss for Green Bay. Obviously playing without Jordan Love. He's injured at the moment. Malik Willis, though, I think he played really good
Yeah,
for
he
who
did.
he is, man. He played really good. Um, Clayton Tooney threw 4 passes for 8 yards in a pick, so that doesn't really matter. But I was really impressed with how Malik was able to handle the offense, and I know they only scored 24 points. But that Ravens defense is good, and that's a tough game to get thrown into for him. So I don't mind the way he played. Then
Yeah,
Lamar didn't play either. Tyler Huntley was in, the former Pro Bowler. He
yeah,
went 16 for 20, 107 yards and a touchdown. That's a bad game, but Derrick Henry carried them so hard, man.
yeah,
36 carries, 216 yards, 4 TDs. That is such a good game for Derrick Henry. If you get over 100 yards, that's a good game for a running back. 200 yards is just unreal.
yeah,
So, and he's had kind of a down year.
yeah. He has.
this
You're
year,
right.
as in turn of of Derrick Henry's years. It's honestly a down year for him. So I like to see that him kind of turn around a little bit and get the ball rolling right when it matters most.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I think a large portion of that is John Harbaugh just hasn't been using him. How much flack has
True.
he been getting the last few weeks that he's
Exactly.
just not
Yep.
giving Henry the ball? He finally gives Henry the ball more than 30 times, and look at the results, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Keep giving just giving the ball, man.
Yeah, he's
Because
so good when you use
yeah,
him. He's so good.
Lamar, he's not the best passer. I think having a guy like Derek, having a really in the like with the team with not the best quarterback, he doesn't have the best arm, kind of like a Jalen Hurts situation, like the Eagles.
Yeah,
Not the best arm at quarterback, not even the best quarterback, really by any means, but they get it done because of their ability to run the ball.
agreed. Completely agree. Yeah, yeah, man. Huntley was not very good, but again, when all you have to do is not make mistakes, and he didn't make mistakes. I think he only got sacked once. He
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
hold on to the ball when he wasn't supposed to. I mean, he
Yep.
played as clean a game as you get, and I mean, you
Yeah,
just
I mean,
let Henry do his thing.
when all you have to do is catch the snap and hand the
Exactly.
ball off, it's
Yep.
a pretty easy day.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I mean, he only threw the ball 20 times.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't need him to.
No.
Um, So yeah, and also before we get really tear into the Packers, I wanted to also say co-sign on everything you said about Malik Willis. He's the last few weeks he's actually been playing not bad when
Yeah, I
when Love
know.
is not on the field. Like he's sneakily. He also had a couple rushing touchdowns in this game. He really has been not an unsung hero because they aren't finding success in the form of wins, but he's not hurting them, right? So th- honestly, that's the best case scenario for a backup quarterback. Just don't lose me the game, right?
Right.
So I think Willis, I agree with you 100% there. Um, this was a complete disaster on the defensive side of the ball for the Packers. This was really, really bad. They're feeling no Parsons, but I don't think you can blame it all on no Parsons.
No.
This is just. I mean, their secondary is banged up. Their D line is a disaster. They have several injuries on the line, and they have no depth. And in the preseason, everyone, myself included, I will fully admit that that I was guilty of this too. We were hyping up the Packers as potential Super Bowl contenders because of this defense, and as we see, the Emperor really does have no clothes. You take away the shiny pieces on the defense, there is nothing there. Nothing. Okay, like literally nothing. This was a really bad game for the Packers. We've been having some questions about how reliable the Packers have been. Eric, I mean, especially after that Eagles game, what was it, like a month and a half ago? That was where they only scored 7 points. That was really bad. But now they've lost three in a row to two teams that are two of the best teams in the sport this year, and then a game to the Ravens, who are, depending on the week, a walking corpse.
Yeah.
So I mean, this last month has been a disaster for the Packers, and it's really killing any chance they have ever had, really, at going deep into the playoffs. It's just a really bad situation, and again, it's partially on injuries, it's partially on a lot of things, but yeah, what a collapse, man.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Colts level, where the Colts just literally imploded. But we're getting close, because this team will still make the playoffs, but now I'm sensing a first round exit, to be totally honest with you. The way they're playing, even if Malik Willis keeps playing well, we'll see if Love can come back from concussion protocol. But let's say Malik Willis plays in the playoffs. Again, I don't think he's going to lose the game for the Packers, but they just don't have the defense to compete with who they would have to play. And I'm getting a really bad feeling about them, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, man, this game was largely about the Packers for me. I just I just was like, man, I don't know. Uh, this game was again very indicative. I think a lot of people were still surprised though because while the Packers have been having issues in recent weeks, it was to Denver and Chicago, who are both having great years. Who would have ever thought we'd be saying that about the Bears? Um, but yeah, the fact that they did it against a Ravens team with a ton of injuries, that's bad. So I don't know, man. Do you have any is there any hope you have towards the Packers right now, or are you off the train? Because
No,
I'm this close to being off.
I'm honestly I'm off the train, man. Like this, they've every game that they've been in, maybe besides one or two, literally every single game, they've won by or won or lost by one score. So it's
Yeah,
either they're closing out games or they're not. And except this Ravens game here, they get blown out. Obviously, Derrick Henry, I mean, he goes nuclear, but still, you can't excuse that. You know, they're losing to teams like the Browns. They lost by 3. They
yeah,
tied with the Cowboys. It's like they're racking up, and even when Joe Flacco was playing against the Bengals, they beat him by 9. So
yeah,
they're beating a lot of these teams and even losing to a lot of these not so good teams.
yeah,
And in the playoffs, that's not going to work because there's not going to be some not so good teams. All these teams are going to be pretty good. And in the
yeah.
first round, I understand, but still, I mean, I don't think the Packers are. I agree. I don't think they're getting past the first round at all. This defense has looked terrible without Parsons. Now with Trayvon Diggs on the getting cut or whatever from the Cowboys, he's a potential target for the Packers at this point.
Yeah,
And they need him. I know he's not that good. He's not what he used to be. He had a couple, maybe 1 or 2 good years, and now everyone loves him. Because from what he used to be. But this is what kind of what they need right now because their defense looks atrocious. They need better receivers. Their receiving core isn't great. Christian Watson's okay. He turns it up when it matters, but it's obviously not enough. And it's just this team has a lot of issues right now. Jordan Love is very inconsistent. I think he can look like prime Aaron Rodgers one week, and
you're
then
right.
he looks like Jordan Love the next. It's like I don't
Yes.
know what he's doing. I don't know what it is. And do you think with the way Malik is playing right now, do you think that there's any chance that he can get the starting job?
No. If Love's healthy, they'll play him.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. I'm sorry, Malik, but they went all in with Jordan Love in the preseason. They're gonna stick with their guy.
Yep.
Maybe he can get a starting job somewhere else. I think he's making a damn good case for that. But
Yeah,
he
for
will
sure.
not get a starting job. Pending injury, he will not get a starting job for the Packers this season. I would imagine my guess is he'll leave in the offseason
Yeah,
for a
that would
start.
be a good move for him because, I mean, he showed glimpses of greatness right there.
Yeah.
He showed that he can hold his own.
Yeah.
He's had a rough career so far as a backup. Hasn't really got in all that much, and so I'm happy for him for sure. But as far as the Packers go, man, I'm fully off the train. They're done. They're done for me.
I agree with you. And then look, I get where you're coming from with Stephon Diggs, but dude, it was a felony charge for
Trayvon, it was
strangulation.
Trayvon.
Oh, Trayvon. Yeah, sorry. So I don't know. Maybe Trayvon. I was confusing him with the other brother who got arrested this morning. Um, but I mean, maybe Trayvon Diggs. Maybe,
But
maybe,
he's not
maybe.
even that good anymore. I mean,
I
it's
agree
just
with you.
it wouldn't help. It would just I mean, it would help a little bit name recognition, I guess, sell jerseys. If that's all you want, then come to the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah, really. I mean, I mean, if they can get Valdez Scandling, then Steelers can get anyone. Um, but I don't know, man. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is not who he was, and I don't think with only one game left in the regular season against a trash Minnesota team, I don't think that'll move the needle. Um,
No, definitely not.
so
Yeah, they're done
I just
for this year, man.
I
And
really
it's
do.
crazy because we were speaking so highly of them to start the
Yes,
year with that Mike. That Micah Parsons trade. Oh, that's an amazing trade, and honestly, it was. It
it
helped them win
was.
some games. But Micah Parsons, I don't know. We've said it before. He just hasn't taken really the next step. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think the Packers they took 3 steps forward and then like 7 steps back.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's a great
I
way to
mean,
put it.
Love has not been the same. Many players on that team haven't been the same.
Yep.
And it's just, but again, Love's the one that we all look at because he's the
Right.
QB. But it's just a tough situation. I think they don't have a great head coach. I think Matt LaFleur holds them back. Um, it's not a great position, but you know, it's not always meant to be, guys. The preseason champion doesn't translate to regular season success. Uh
Yeah.
like virtually ever, like I mean, so rarely it does, right? So
Yeah.
rarely does it actually translate. And this is just yet another example of it not working out. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, moving on to the next game. This was what a watch. This was the Bears visiting the 49ers. Eric, what was going on here?
Craziness, that's what was going on. The Bears
Yeah.
lose 38-42 against the 49ers on the road. Such a good game. We finally got a really good NFL game after weeks of waiting.
Right? I've been
I
waiting for
mean,
this game. I've been waiting for a game of this quality for literally weeks, and I finally got it.
yeah, we see it a
Yeah.
lot in college, but when you're scoring 42, 30, it's 42, 38 in the NFL, you got a good game on your hands. It's really just bad defense. But it
Yeah.
wasn't even that bad a defense. Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy were just carving it up. Brock Purdy went 24 for 33, 303 yards, 3 TDs, a pick. But that's okay. He scored 42 points. And then Christian McCaffrey, he's been so good all year, making a great case for MVP if it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor's year. 23 carries, 140 yards, touchdown. Such a good game. He had a really long 41-yard run as well. That's just a great game all around for really both these teams. And Caleb Williams, as much as I don't like him, he has turned the corner and he's becoming something special. Went
Yeah.
25 for 42, not the best completion percentage, but he threw for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's a really, really solid game. And it's not like they got carried by DeAndre Swift and Kamadunga either, because they only had 54 and 38 yards on 9 and 8 carries. So it
Yeah.
was all Caleb Williams. Luther Burden stepped up huge with the absence of Roma Dunze. Went 8 receptions, 138 yards, and a touchdown. That's a great game for him. That's probably the best game of his career so far, his young career, that is, as a rookie. Both these teams just played so good. Defensive wise, they didn't. But nobody wants to see a defensive game. You want to see a lot of points. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, clean game for both these guys. I know Brock Purdy threw the pick, but that's okay. I mean, you can forget about it when they win the game like that.
Yeah.
And even Jawan Jennings, who really he hasn't really done too much this year. Two receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's special stuff there. So great game from these guys, and the Bears are legit. Can't believe I'm
Yeah.
saying it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I will say this though: the defense for the Bears has some issues.
Hmm.
Their man coverage was not very good. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, let's say that Ricky Pearsall had a fantastic game for the 49ers. He had 85 receiving yards. Um, watching the Bears try to, the defensive backs try to man coverage Ricky Pearsall was actually painful to watch. They just can't keep up with them. And they can't really pressure the O line either. I mean, it's not like Brock Purdy was under duress for a large portion of the game. So um, the defense had some issues, but I'm with you, man. That Bears offense, I have been, look, I'll say it. I've been down on Williams, but he had an incredible game. Um, you named you listed the stats. I won't repeat you, but they didn't have to rely on Monongai or Swift to do all the heavy lifting in terms of offense. This really was just Caleb. Um, and his receivers just going to town. And he went to so many different receivers. It's not like he only threw to
Right.
Colson Loveland. He was throwing to everyone. He was throwing to Walker. He was throwing to Luther Burden. He was throwing to a bunch of guys. And it was a really, really complete game from him. He reads the field well. He holds onto the ball a little too long at times, but that's, nitpicking. Um, they were in he was one throw away from winning this game. I mean, they were so close to a walk-off touchdown, but they've been winning so many games on walk-offs this year that, I mean, you can't win them all. So I'm not going to hold I'm not going to hold that against Caleb. It's he had a very, very good game. Yeah, man, this was largely a situation where both defenses were problematic. But one team had to lose, and in the end, Purdy was just able to make the clutch plays a little more frequently than Williams. But that's not speaking low on Williams. The fact that Williams is doing this so early in his career and actually being competitive against a really solid team, a team that should be better than what they are. They've been a walking infirmary all year, and the Niners are still a very solid team. The fact that they held their own against this team is very, very impressive, and Bears fans should not be upset. They should be so thrilled with where the team is. I mean, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm on cloud nine right now. I really am.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're giving a lot of credit to Caleb Williams here, and it's well deserved. But look at what Ben Johnson's done with this team.
Yes.
I mean, the Bears have been down in the dumps for years. Ben Johnson comes around and he gets this team to 11-5 with the help of Caleb Williams. That's really impressive, and he's turning Caleb Williams into a really good quarterback. And
Yeah.
coming out of college, both these quarterbacks, obviously Brock Purdy, but if you told me that Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams are going to have honestly the game of the week, I would say you're
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, but they did, and both these quarterbacks are playing really well. I'm very impressed with how Brock Purdy's kind of managing like you said, they're very injured. He's been managing it well. He's been mixing up, throwing it to different guys. Jake Tungus played good in the absence of George Kittle. I mean, everyone's really kind of stepped up when they had to. It was just one of those games where someone had to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with you. I'm very high on the Bears right now. And I think they're gonna have they're not gonna win. I suspect my prediction right now, Eric, based on what I've seen, my guess, they lose in the NFC Championship game.
Okay, yeah,
That's what I think. That's what my gut's telling me. I
definitely
think
could
they're going to
happen.
do what the Lions did, and I think they're going to really come into the playoffs relatively unexpected, and they're going to be underestimated, and they're going to be able to go surprisingly far, not Super Bowl far, but deeper into the playoffs than I think a lot of people would expect on first glance.
Mhm.
That's what I suspect is going to happen. Um, and yeah, man, I think the Bears next week are really going to pummel the Lions. And we'll see how far, you know, this team can go. Because I think there are issues on defense, but I think there's so much potential with this current roster that I'm really curious to see how far they go. Um, I guess as for the Niners, I mean, very, very good win for them. Again, they've been so hampered by injuries. The fact that Kyle Shanahan, can we officially call the man one of the best coaches in the sport? He's taken a walking infirmary and turned them into 12-4. That is
Yeah,
an absolutely remarkable accomplishment on the part of the coaching staff. I mean, they didn't have Purdy for a chunk of the year. I mean, they've had really a remarkable season, and we'll see who if they can get some more guys healthy, and if they can, they might be a scary threat in the playoffs as well. Next week's game
yeah,
against Seattle is going to be fun to watch.
yeah. That's honestly what top teams in the NFC.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
and Seattle looks really good right now as well. The NFC is miles better than the AFC right now.
Oh yeah.
So, I
Oh,
mean, the AFC is just impossible to watch. You got some
I
bad
agree.
teams duking it out for the last spot, but the NFC is so fun to watch. I think the NFC wins the Super Bowl this year,
I completely agree
whoever
with
it
you.
is.
I completely agree with you. I'm going to predict the NFC team whenever we have that episode of the show.
Yeah,
um, so I guess that's a foreshadowing. But yeah, Saturday night, dude, 8 p.m. That Seahawks game, that's gonna be fun to watch with the
yeah,
Niners.
for
It's gonna be
sure.
fun. I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, I think the Niners are underestimated because of their injuries. But if they're a very good football team, and they have such a good coach, such a good coach. I mean,
Yeah,
he and Purdy really are just a perfect quarterback head coach matchup. I mean, they're really, really they play very well together. It's a very good team.
yeah, great
Um,
chemistry, and Brock Purdy has great chemistry with the receivers too. I mean, they
yeah,
know what they're doing, and fully healthy. This team's loaded
yeah,
with talent. So
yeah, yeah. Talk about just again going under the radar. I mean, again,
yeah,
McCaffrey gets hurt early on. People think they're done. And they have a couple losses early on, but they come back early. They're able to revive themselves, and again, they're just they really have potential to go far if they can get a little more healthy. It'll be interesting to watch.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's all I have in that game. What about you?
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay, guys. I guess we have to talk about this shit, but I we'll try to get through it with some level of sanity. The Steelers visiting the Browns. Eric, what was this game? What was I witnessing? What was this real, or was it just a figment of my imagination?
Oh, it was real. The Steelers lose 6-13 in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, perfect timing. He gets the win, 17-23. He went 17 for 23, 186 yards and a touchdown. 2 interceptions, which were terrible. Got
Yeah,
sacked twice. He sucks, but he just does enough somehow. Does I
yeah.
mean enough. They won 4 games, but he does enough.
And he didn't start to when week 11, week
Right,
12.
exactly.
Yeah,
He's been okay on. He's just been okay. I mean, with the
yeah,
team he has around him, I
yeah,
think he can eventually be good. But when Jerry Judy is your wide receiver one, you're going nowhere. He's so
yep,
bad. I hate that the Browns have him. He's terrible.
yeah.
He was actually the leading receiver this game. Had 5 receptions, 54 yards, no touchdowns. But I want to talk about Harold Fenton Jr. He's looked so good. He's a rookie. He's looked so good, and this entire year, Shador trusts him, and he's kind of like Travis Kelsey in a way where he has a knack to get open. He just always just finds a way to get open somehow.
Yeah.
He got hurt. I believe he's out for the season, which is only one game, but he's out for the season. He had 2 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown, which the longest being that 28-yard touchdown. Really impressive game from him. On the other side, do we have to talk about the other side? It was terrible. Aaron
Oh
Rodgers, man, 21 for 39,
God.
168 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. He got sacked twice. None of them were Myles Garrett going for the record. And did you see what Myles Garrett said? Which
Yes,
I
I
think
did.
is 100% true. If you didn't see it, Myles Garrett said, Myles Garrett obviously going for the all-time sack record. He's one sack away from it. He said that the Steelers were just almost too focused on not letting him get it than winning the game. And
Yeah,
I
he's right.
100% agree, man.
Yeah,
Anytime he got close, Aaron Rodgers would just throw the ball in the dirt. That's why he has 39 pass attempts, because he was just throwing it away the whole game. Because Myles Garrett he had some pressures. It was and he was lined up way outside at one point. They were lining him up anywhere, just trying to get it,
yeah,
and they didn't let him, which I thought was just silly. When this is a very important game, you can knock a division rival at the playoffs and stand alone at the top of the AFC North. You're worried about some sack record just because TJ Watt has it, along with Michael Strahan. It's like, what are we doing here? So Steelers scored 0 touchdowns in this loss. Jalen Warren went for 12 carries, 64 yards, no touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell, who's been strong all year, went 7 carries for 26 yards.
yeah,
It's just so bad. Then Pat Fryermuth, the leading receiver. Obviously, DK Metcalf is out. We talked about it last week on the show, but he's out with because he got suspended by the league for punching that fan in the face.
yeah,
He got Pat Fryermuth got 3 receptions, 63 yards, and no touchdowns. Obviously, Scotty Miller I mean, he was the Steelers' next best receiver, Scotty Miller.
God.
I mean, I've never even heard of this dude. He's 28.
Yeah.
He sucks. He's not even good. It's just like, what is going on? If the Steelers just had a average receiving core, they win this game. Defense looked good. They held the Browns to 13 points. I just don't know. And the Steelers have had some shaky receiving core, shaky quarterbacks even these last couple years.
Yeah.
They get their guy in Aaron Rodgers, go out, get DK Metcalf, overpay for him. I mean, it's just, when does it end? The defense looked, like I said, just okay. TJ Watt, he didn't play because of the collapsed lung he has. But oh my gosh, it was just such a bad game, or I guess a good game because I was actually rooting for the Browns. Um, but yeah, man, Shador Sanders, and they even like he's not even good. He had 186 yards
No.
and they lose. I
No.
mean, I don't understand how the Steelers lose this game, but it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. What a embarrassing performance.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying this to add on to your receiving core point. I mean, the fact that they have to hit the dumpster, and get Adam Thielen and MVS. I mean, I feel like
Right.
as soon as they got those two guys, it should have
It's
been red
over,
alert.
man. It's
There,
over.
there should have been
Yeah.
massive. The police should have been showing up. It was bad.
Well, the police should
Yeah,
have showed up and arrested Aaron Rodgers for the last couple plays of the game when he threw it to MVS 3 times in the end zone.
yeah. I just. Yeah, and then Johnny Smith and Darnell Washington were non-existent.
Yeah.
Um, I just. I agree with you. I think Rodgers just has a little too much control over this team. I mean, it's the same issue with the Jets, right? I mean, he wants his people. Um, and when it doesn't work out, I mean, they try to blame it on others, and he won't take any blame himself because he's a diva. I mean, we know this about him. This isn't new. Um, I agree with Miles Garrett, like you, 100%. Um, I mean, I hate Miles Garrett, but he's right. And I mean that's that record. I mean, he's a remarkable talent. Um, yeah, what amazes me is how unprepared the Steelers were for Garrett's versatility. I mean, all
Yeah.
season he has been all over that line. Um, and he has been, again, just absolutely outstanding. Just a remarkable year for him. How are you not? How are you that ill prepared for him that you let him pressure you all the as many times as he did, and as a result, as you said, Rodgers has to throw it in the dirt. How are you? How does that happen? Did you watch film? Like, I don't understand how you didn't watch the film and not see that. Because again, Shador's not good enough to beat Aaron Rodgers. This was a Miles Garrett just pressuring them the whole game. And without a sack, he commands the game. That's how good he is, dude. He didn't have a sack, and he dominated that entire game from start to finish.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, we've been talking about the Steelers for weeks. We've been telling out the listeners to not buy it, into this hype. Um, I think both of us feel vindicated on this episode of Catching the Facts because this is the kind of loss that Steelers fans have been subjected to for literally years at this point. And it's sad that any of them really thought that this wouldn't happen at some point.
Yeah. Well, you said
Um,
it last week. This is a trap game.
it was,
And
yeah.
it was. I mean, Steelers always split with the Browns, but this was this one definitely hurt them the most.
Yeah. So I look forward to next week. I mean, if there's any justice in the world, I mean, we talked about it when the Ravens and Steelers played earlier this year. I mean, both fan bases desperately wanted their teams to lose because they wanted to spur some change within the within the ranks of head coach. Um, I mean, this game is going to be really, really integral for both Tomlin and Harbaugh, right? I think both of them really need that game to work out. So we'll see what happens. God, I think I have to predict the Ravens. I don't know. That
If
game's
Derrick
not.
Henry has another game like he just had, which is unlikely, but I mean, if he even has half of that, if he has 2 touchdowns, the game's over.
I
I
agree.
mean, for years the Steelers' offense has been terrible. They can't ever score more than 20 some points, and then at that point, their defense. I mean, they can't really. They can only do so much.
Yeah,
So, but for if is Lamar playing? Do we know that?
I do not know that, but
But if he plays, force him to throw the ball. They can. They've showed that they can also reduce his ability to run, which is huge because he can't really throw the ball that well. So, but I mean, if they lose the game, it's not another, it's another non-losing season for Mike Tomlin. So they're going 9-8 either way. And that record stands, man. What a great accomplishment for Mike Tomlin.
yeah, what? Yeah, one Hall of Fame coach right there. He's
Yeah, yeah.
just all time great coach. God, I'm so whatever. I'm not going to repeat myself. We've said what we need
We've been
to.
saying it all year, man. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just, isn't it good to be right?
it
Feels
really.
good.
I'll tell you what. Vindication is the greatest feeling in the world. Vindication feels so good. Yeah, I just whatever. If the Steelers win next week, they'll get shelled in the first round. What else is new?
Yeah,
Right.
it's oh, dude, this team is done for in the first round. Whoever they play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over. If they
Yeah.
play anything like they have for the past 2 months, it's done. I mean, I understand they almost beat the Bears, but come on, I mean,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
Barely beat a bad Lions team. We can keep going on, but
Yeah.
they just suck.
Yeah. No. No. I completely agree with you. I completely agree. It was just
They're lucky they're not in a more competitive division.
they're really lucky, right? If they were in a good division, they would have a losing record,
Yeah.
right? So it is what it is. Let's move
Yep.
on. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Yep. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay, let's move on to the other really not very good Pennsylvania football team. The Eagles visiting the Buffalo Bills. Eric, what's going on there?
Yeah, the Eagles somehow beat the Bills 13-12 on the road. Oh my gosh. Josh Allen, man, we've been giving him a lot of praise all year and his ability to he's been cleaning up the turnovers and the bad play, but he did not look good this game. Went 23 for 35, a fumble that went maybe 12, 15 yards behind him. I don't even know what happened. I think he just threw it backwards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but that fumble was terrible.
Yeah.
James Cook played really bad. Really bad, I guess, that's not fair to say. He played okay. He went 20 for 74, no touchdowns, or 20 carries, 74 yards, no touchdowns. But we've seen James Cook break loose a lot. His longest run was 10 yards, and we've seen him be so explosive this year and really take a jump
Yeah.
from what he was these past couple years. And this was a bad game for him. I understand people have bad games, but still. Brandon Cooks was their leading receiver, 4 receptions, 101 yards, no touchdowns. Josh Allen did everything. He had 2 touchdowns. And then it was really windy there, I believe. So Michael Badgley he missed the extra point, and then that's the reason they ended up losing ultimately.
Yeah.
And then they went for 2 to win the game. But Jalen Hurts, another bad quarterback.
Performance. Yeah.
Yeah, another bad quarterback performance. He went 13 for 27, 110 yards, touchdown. That's great. Saquon played okay, 19 for 68, no touchdowns. A.J. Brown, man, I mean, this guy's stunk it up all year. 5 receptions, 68 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, dude, I don't know what happened with A.J. Brown. It's an ego thing for sure. But
Yeah, I think it's a case of just getting distracted by the off the field drama.
yeah, off the field, media has been in his head, analysts have been in his head, and he's honestly, I think he's been in his own head. I don't know what he's doing, and it's a shame because he's been so good these past couple of years, and it's he's taken a really bad step in the wrong direction, slowly spiraling mentally a little bit, which is a little scary to watch. But I don't know, man. He hasn't been the same this year. He's been okay, but yeah, Jalen Hurts, he hasn't looked good all year. I don't know. the tush push really helps him a lot
Yes.
and where people think he's good. I mean, you see that he has 25 touchdowns on the year. That's tied for seventh, but how many of them are throwing TDs? And he has 6 interceptions. That's not great either.
Yeah.
So 3,200 yards. I mean, we can keep going. He barely has more yards than Julian Sand in, you
Yeah.
know, 17 games.
Yeah.
His arm is not good. I don't know. He's just okay. He gets carried by that little tush push thing. But he somehow manages to win, and that makes me so angry that they're 11-5 somehow. I don't understand it. Their defense is pretty good though. I will give them that.
Sure.
But it's just, I don't know, man. Jalen Hurts, I just can't. He's starting to turn into Caleb Williams a little bit, as to where I don't really like him that much. I think
Yeah.
he's overrated.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. This is one of the worst, like, post Super Bowl winning performances you'll see from a quarterback
He's
for
in
a
a
while.
bad slump.
Yeah,
Super
he's
Bowl
in a
hangover.
yeah, talk about one, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he was bad in this game. Um he was missing wide open throws. And he wasn't pressured too much, which really made the misses more noticeable. I don't know if it's again a mental thing, if he's nursing an injury. I don't know what's going on, but um
Yeah.
there's just something off. And when Saquon's not playing at otherworldly levels, you lose.
Exactly.
I
But
mean, again,
they somehow got won this game. But
exactly, and I was gonna say, like, they got lucky with
mm-hmm.
winning this game because
Yep.
normally this performance they've been losing the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
So it's just they got lucky. What have we been saying about the Bills all year, dude? Josh Allen is this entire team. If he's not playing at a godlike level, they lose.
Yeah. Uh huh.
I mean, this team is Josh Allen. If he's not at peak level, they're just they're almost non-existent because James Cook is good, but James Cook isn't great. He's not an elite player.
Right.
He can't carry the deficiencies of the quarterback the way that say Saquon can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just creates a situation where again, Allen's asked to do everything, including run the ball. And again, it's just not enough for him. It's not enough for him to really to get over the hump. It's just not enough. It's a tough spot, but I again, I'm not surprised that this is what Buffalo is because we've been saying this about Buffalo for weeks, dude. I mean, they're not quite at like Emperor has no clothes level, but they have been. I mean, that Falcons loss was real bad. I still think about that game. That was a
Oh
bad
yeah,
loss
man.
for them. I mean, look, they're obviously going to win next week against the Jets, but the playoffs are going to be really interesting because again, the Chiefs have fallen, but the Pats are back. I mean,
Yes.
it's literal hell for Bills Mafia. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But I'm again, it's just too much pressure to put on a quarterback, dude. I honestly feel bad for Josh Allen because he's a very good
Mm-hmm.
player, and you can't ask a quarterback to do that much for you. You just can't. I don't care how talented you are. You can't ask a quarterback to do all of that. You have to have something else, and they really don't. It's a shame. I think their coach holds them back, Sean McDermott. We've talked about us. We've talked about him too. I won't repeat myself, but it's just a tough spot.
It
It's a
is,
tough
and
spot.
it's a shame, man, because Josh Allen's such a great talent, and they just have to start building around him. I understand they have young talent with Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, but they really haven't looked good at all. So it's tough. Tyrell Shavers, he was on their practice squad for a while. He's I mean, he's okay. He's not bad, but it's just they need help. Their defense isn't that bad, honestly. If they can just get some receiving help, because James Cook does enough where
Sure.
he can just keep him afloat. You can have an okay running back and still be okay when you have an elite quarterback like Josh Allen.
Of course.
You can get away with it. So, and Josh Allen just makes everyone around him better. He's just that type of guy. So,
Yeah.
but he can only do so much. He's only one guy. And you need 11 guys to play some good football. So,
Yeah.
um, And it's
Yeah.
not like they're super hurt either. You know, we talk about teams like the 49ers who have taken a step back just because they're injured. But this is and injuries aren't their fault. We're not blaming anybody for getting hurt. But this is the Bills' fault. They're not injured. They're healthy.
Yeah.
So this is bad. And you're losing to an Eagles team who's, like you said, really digressed. I mean, even Saquon, I understand he had a amazing year last year, a record-breaking year, but
Yeah.
he's taken a really sharp step back, and so this one hurts, man. I understand the Eagles are 11-5, but they're not a really good 11-5. They're a bad team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we were just talking about how competitive the NFC is this year. The Eagles are not going far in this conference
At
with
all,
how
no,
good the
they're going
conference
nowhere,
is,
man.
right? They're not gonna it's not gonna work out in the postseason. It's just
Yeah,
not. So I
yeah,
hope the
no.
Eagles enjoy their win next week against the Commanders, because that's probably gonna be it for them.
Yeah,
Uh so we'll see. Yeah, just a scary decline in quality for the Eagles. Because it happened so quickly. I don't think anyone really saw it coming.
no, not
It's
at all.
even crazier. Okay, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, the last game of the week was a doozy. I don't. This was a nut. This game was knuckin' futz. It was crazy. Uh, the Rams visiting the Falcons. Eric, what's going on here?
Yeah, this game was unreal. The Rams lose in Atlanta 24-27. Heartbreaking loss. Both these teams put everything out on the field that they could.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins, man, Kirk O'Chains went 13 for 20, 126 yards and a touchdown. That is such a bad stat line to put
yeah,
up 27 points with. And they win the game because you know who? Bijan Robinson. He
yeah.
is playing at an elite level this year, and he has been. He is so good. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, that
He
run,
went
that touchdown run right after the Falcons
93
converted.
yards, man.
Yeah, right after they converted the fumble. That was a beautiful run. I mean, that's like
Huge
that was
momentum
good.
swing. That's the longest run of his career.
Yeah,
His young career, and I'm sure he'll have another one soon. 22 carries, 195 yards and a touchdown with a 93-yard run. That's really impressive stats. As far as the other side of the ball, Matthew Stafford played okay. He went 22 for 38, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions that really hurt them.
yeah,
The fact they were even in this game, I mean, what, Atlanta? I think Atlanta was up 20,
yeah. They're
20
up,
to nothing.
yeah, they were. They were up big at the half.
Or
Big,
20,
big, big at the half.
yeah,
Yeah,
21 to nothing. And then the Rams just caught fire, 17 points in the third quarter to bring them back within 7. Such a good game. Puka Nacua, man, he is really special. I don't know if you saw that catch, or I guess it wasn't a catch that he had.
it
When
was
he,
gorgeous. I don't care that it
yeah,
wasn't. I know it wasn't counted as a catch, but that final play. I mean, that's as good as
that's as good as it
receiving.
gets.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, that was unreal. If he catches that, that's probably the next Odell. You know,
yeah,
but
you're right.
great play by the defender. I can't remember his name at the moment. That was such a good play to get his fingers in there. Um, Puka Nacua, he's a game changer. He just plays so good. And the reason why the Rams lost this game is because of multiple penalties. I can't remember. It was some lineman. He was really hurting them. False starts, holding.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
It,
don't
it
remember
was
his name, but it was bad. Yeah,
it was really bad, and I feel bad for Puka because he caught a touchdown, and which ultimately at this point would have won them the game, and it gets called back. It was a really long touchdown, gorgeous pass from Stafford, gets called back, just because of the false start there. And then another one, it was like holding on a really long play to Puka as well. So Puka got snubbed, man, multiple times this game from either good defensive plays, or just unlucky penalties. But he is so special. I really like what he's doing, and it's really impressive, man. From BYU, you don't really hear a lot of great guys from BYU, but he's really put them on the map in that sense. And the Hawaii's got another one. They just keep
yeah,
pumping out good
yeah,
NFL players. It's honestly unreal.
yeah. His behavior off the field with all his tweets isn't great.
Yeah,
But
he got fined not too long ago for
yeah,
criticizing the refs, but
yeah, he needs to calm it down a little bit. And then the follow up tweet, which I admit I laughed, I was like, "See, I was right."
yeah,
That was funny, but you can't do that as a professional. So I do think he needs to. I do think he needs to find a little bit of maturity, but it's
yeah.
not so bad that I don't like find him unlikable. You know, I
No,
just
he's a
think
likable guy.
he's a likable guy. I
Yeah,
just think he can mature a bit. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I agree with you in terms of just on the field raw talent. He is incredible. He really, really is. He's a perfect fit with Sean McVay. I
oh
mean, he
yeah,
fits so well into McVay's style of offense.
yep,
It's just a joy to watch. It really is, and uh, he's going places. He's going far. You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
it's going to be he's a joy to watch. But yeah, this is a devastating loss for the Rams, man. This is the kind of loss that just haunts you. I know the Falcons haven't been like bottom of the barrel bad this year, but they've been bad. So to lose this game you know, is pretty damning. Um we were talking we mentioned it a little bit last week with the Seahawks. How that game really wasn't too much of a negative look on the Rams solely because the Seahawks have had such a good year, right? But with this was you can't use that argument here. This was a horrible loss for the Rams. This gave me shades of the Panthers loss, and you don't want to mimic the Panthers loss if you're the Rams. This was a lot of again sloppy play, 3 picks from Matthew Stafford. I mean, that's very unlike him at times, and it just it was a very sloppy game from them. Very sloppy. You mentioned the penalties already. Uh, it was just all over the place. I don't know really where the Rams are at the moment. I think we need to see how the playoff bracket kind of shapes up before we you know
Yeah, before we really say anything about them. I
yeah.
agree.
So, let's see how the bracket turns out before we can predict where they go. But
Yep.
right now, I think the Rams are a really solid team, but just have, brain farts at very
Yeah.
inopportune times. And honestly, those kinds of things kill you in the playoffs. So
Yeah, they do.
we'll see. We'll
Um,
see what happens.
yeah. Now, one other thing. Obviously, we talked about the officiating
Yes.
on the show a little bit before, but in this game, once again, there's another little officiating little mess up here, you could say. Obviously, the Falcons kicked that go-ahead field goal to end up
Yeah.
ultimately winning 27-24. They gave the ball to the Rams with 30 seconds left on the clock. And then, Stafford threw it to Tutu Atwell,
Yeah.
and D. Alford grabbed his left arm, which you're not allowed to do that, but they didn't call it. Um, so
Horrible
a
move.
missed pass interference that ultimately, and the pass fell at the 10-yard line, so that would have put them right into
And
field goal
field goal
range.
wins. Yeah.
Maybe a shot at the end, one shot at the end zone if they had enough time. What do you think about that? There was, I think, 16 seconds left on the clock when that happened.
Yeah. It was a horrible no call.
Yeah,
It was a horrible no call. I mean, it was honestly kind of predictable because the Falcons' defense has been such a mess this year. I think it was actually a brilliant call by McVay to go deep because the odds of getting a pass interference are actually pretty solid.
yeah,
So it was a really good call by McVay. He goaded the Falcons, man, and the refs just missed it. But we've known the refs in the NFL are horrible these days. I mean, grass is green, water is wet. That's not
yeah.
football, right? So, I mean, I wish I had something more to add, but unfortunately, this is kind of the new normal.
It is, and that's a shame,
I
because a
agree.
couple years ago we would be saying, "Oh, horrible call," everyone would be ripping them. Now it's like, okay, it's just another week, you know.
Right?
I mean,
Right?
it's
Isn't
it's
that a
and
big
that's
difference?
not good.
Yeah.
That's not
Uh,
what you want
yeah.
from the top of the top. And I understand. I mean, it's hard to be a ref. You can't see everything, but you got what 6 refs on the field. None of them see that, and one of them running right with Tutu Atwell. I mean, come on, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But going back to Sean McVay, I think he is a really good coach, and I really liked what he's done with his team.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys like him. I think when you have a young coach like him, younger players can really almost connect with them, and
Oh yeah.
I think that's
Yep.
huge. If you can make a connection with your players, you see these old coaches. Bill Belichick's a decent example. Not a very personable guy, but he's just a great NFL mind, which helps. But
Yeah.
if you can make a connection with your players, that's huge. And if you can have great chemistry in the locker room, I mean, that's half the battle right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you.
So
McVay's age really helps him
yeah,
connect with the players.
and
100%.
same with Matt LaFleur as well. He's a younger guy, but I mean, we've
Yeah.
kind of seen what he's doing.
Yeah, but the difference there, I agree with you that like the core principles are the same, but the difference is that LaFleur just does not have the football mind that McVay does.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
I
agree. Yeah.
mean,
He's just not on the
relating with the
same level.
players can only go so far if you aren't the best at the game and the X's
Right.
and O's of the sport. You know,
Yep.
so. But I
Yep.
agree with you. The intangibles are definitely the same, and yeah, McVay's a very good coach, very very good coach. I agree. That's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay, guys, that is it for this episode of Catching the Facts. Thank you so much for listening. Looking ahead to next week's games, we have the 4 quarterfinal games, um, which are obviously will be discussed in depth next week. We predicted these games in last week's episode, at the end of last week's episode, so please go listen to that if you want to hear our thoughts. But I think, with the exception of the Orange Bowl, you and I had the same predictions for all the games. So I think we kind of have a good idea of where these games are going to go, but maybe there will be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. I would like to
Uh,
be proven wrong, though. I mean, let's get some.
yeah, I'd love for Alabama to make it super competitive. I'd love it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Outside of those quarterfinal games, we obviously have a couple more New Year's games. Iowa Vanderbilt is actually not bad.
Hmm.
That's not a bad game. So maybe that'll be surprisingly good. Michigan,
Oh, God.
Texas.
You want to talk about Diego Pavia?
Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't. We'll see how he performs against Iowa. I mean, Iowa always has a solid defense, so
Yeah.
we'll see what Pavia can do. Michigan, Texas. I suspect Texas will probably kill him. But there's just too much turmoil in that locker room, quite frankly, at Michigan.
That's
But I
true.
mean, maybe they'll make it more competitive, and who knows? Maybe Arch will show us why they should have been in the top 12. Maybe, possibly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
it is funny, right? I made you laugh. So, yeah, guys. A couple really small college games outside of the quarterfinals that we might talk about, if they end up being really good. But I mean, proof is in the pudding, so we'll see what.
I think it'll be a long enough show.
Yeah, you're probably right. In terms of NFL games, there are a couple big ones. Obviously, the Steelers Ravens has huge playoff implications. The Seahawks 49ers is a hell of a game.
Great game.
That's going to be a really really good one to watch. But everything else outside of those two are not really not
Well,
really
everything
great.
else is pretty much set in stone at this point.
Exactly. I mean, the Broncos and Chargers have both had good seasons, but I mean, both teams are making the playoffs at this point,
And
and
I think the Broncos win that game by,
yeah,
maybe 10 points.
yeah, the Broncos are a much better team. So
Yeah. And just
we
for the
don't know.
injuries to the offensive line for the
Of course,
Chargers.
of course. So yeah, I mean, couple games with playoff implications. We're probably definitely going to talk about the Seahawks 49ers. That game's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
but other than that, I mean, we'll talk about. I get honestly, Eric. Next week we're probably gonna talk about the playoff bracket for the NFL.
Yeah.
So tune in next week. Next week's probably going to be another really long episode because we're gonna have a lot to talk about with predictions for the next weeks of the college football playoff as well as the NFL playoff. So playoffs are almost upon us in full, which is really really fun. I'm excited for them to go down there because it's gonna be fun to follow and cover.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, guys, thank you again for listening to this episode of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. As always, we post new episodes every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys, well, I guess I should say we hope you guys had a wonderful and very Merry Christmas. I know I had a really enjoyable one. I know you did too, Eric. So Merry Christmas again. Happy New Year. This will be going up on New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year's to those of you who feel New Year's is a very important and not totally meaningless holiday. So I hope you guys have fun. And yeah, next week should be really, really interesting. So we'll see you then. It's gonna be really interesting. As always, please like, comment, follow, and subscribe on both YouTube and Spotify where we post. We really appreciate your support as always. Anything else you have to say, Eric?
That is it. Just Happy New Year.
Yeah, guys. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week for another wonderful episode of this show. Until then, I'm your host, Dan Sisk,
And I'm Eric Schroeder.
and we'll see you then.